Hello everyone. So today this lecture will be based on how to calculate trade payable days, inventory days and trade receivables days, because these are very much useful things in order to know, in order to analyze the balance sheet. So before jumping into that, let us assume that there is a manufacturing company and which manufactures carbon fiber as a finished goods. So in order to manufacture carbon fiber, it purchases raw material from supplier, processes it and to carbon fiber as a finished goods and sells it to the purchaser. Now, in order to do this, let us assume that on 1st January 2023, the business unit purchased the raw material, and it takes 30 days to convert that raw material into finished goods. So finished goods is carbon fiber. So on 30 January 2023, the raw material gets converted into finished goods. You're getting converted to finished goods. Okay. So the processing time, this conversion time from raw material to finished goods, is called inventory days. Generally, it will not be shown like that, the way I am explaining the figure, but first I will explain it in a simple manner, and then we will see how to calculate this trade payable days, inventory days and trade receivable days from balance sheets data. So here we saw that how in 30 days the raw material got converted into finished goods. So 30 days, it's the inventory days. Okay, the next thing, after, let's assume that assumption is only to simplify the things, then we will start ignoring the assumptions and then we'll see the real world examples. Okay, so we'll assume that on same date the raw material, the finished goods is sold to the purchaser. The purchaser buys the finished goods, and but the money is not received on the same date. The money is received after 60 days from the purchaser, from the sale date. So the 60 days is the trade receivable days, or the sundry debtors, you can call it. So first was trade inventory days and trade receivables days. So the next thing is trade the supplier. So one thing I will want to show you, that here in this given examples, inventory days is 30 days. So and trade receivable days is called the length of the time from the day when finished goods is sold and full cash is received. So that is called trade receivable days. So let us assume we are selling it on 30 January 2023, and 60 days from after that the cash is being received from the purchaser to the business unit. So that length of the time will be called trade receivable days. Okay, now what is trade payable days? What is trade payable or sundry creditors? It is very simple. When the business unit is purchasing raw material from the suppliers, maybe there is some terms to that sale agreement that we will pay it after some days. So let's assume that in this example the business unit is repaying for that raw material after 25 days. So this 25 days is the trade payable days. Means when it is purchasing on 1st January 2023 the raw material from the suppliers, on 25th January the business unit is repaying to the supplier. This 25 days is called the trade payable days. So in this example we understood that what is trade payable days, what is inventory days, what is receivable days. But in the real world, in balance sheet, this kind of data, it is not provided in this form. They will not mention that which day the raw material is being purchased, because it is purchased in a frequent manner. Okay, so it is very difficult to keep track and present it as a balance sheet. That thing is not done in a balance sheet. In balance sheet, simply trade payable data or inventory data or trade receivables data will be given, and based on that we have to calculate the trade payable days, inventory days and trade receivables date. Okay, now let's see how we can calculate these values from the balance sheet data. So this is the formula for trade payable days. Is trade payable by cost of goods sold into 365, and inventory days is equal to inventory by cost of goods sold into 365, and trade receivables days is equal to trade receivables by sales into 365. But suppose it so happens that cost of goods sold is not shown in the balance sheet, then instead of cost of goods sold we can take sales. It will not be accurate, but it will get a very close figure. Okay, so this is the data given that sales is 15 lakhs for that carbon fiber. Trade payable is 3 lakhs. Trade receivable is 5 lakhs, and inventory is 2 lakhs. Trade payable is 2 lakhs means for this value of sales the cash has not been received from the supplier. From this value of purchase of raw materials the cash has not been repaid to the raw material seller. Okay, so trade payable days, and we also know that trade payable is a current liability. Trade receivables and inventory are the current asset. So if you have any doubt, you can comment in the link below. I will make a separate video on current asset and non-current asset where we will simplify the things. So trade payable days is equal to 3 by 3. This simply this we are putting these values in this formula to calculate. Trade payable is 3 lakhs, we put 3, and cost of goods sold is not given. Okay, so we will use sales data. 3 by 15 into 365 is coming out to be 73 days. For inventory days, calculation of inventory days, what is the formula? Simply we will use this formula: inventory by cost of goods sold into 365. So inventory days is equal to 2. See, inventory is 2 lakhs, divided by 15 into 365 is 48.66. Trade receivables is equal to 5 by 15 into 365 is equal to 121. So it is coming out to be this much. Okay, so this is the way we calculated trade payable days, inventory days, and trade receivable days from the balance sheet data, because balance sheet the amount is given for different values, and from different values you have to calculate the trade payable days. So based on this data, suppose now instead of, let us assume one thing. The trade, sorry, let's not highlight it. Let it be no color, and not bold. Okay. Trade payable days. Okay. Trade payable days is, as we see, we calculated 73. Suppose the value is 37. Okay. Similarly, inventory days, first we calculate almost 48.66 means it is going to be the next day, so it is 49 days. Okay, for simplicity make it a round figure to 50 days. Okay, let's take it 70 days and make it 35 days, simplifying. And suppose on the for some company it is okay, and we have trade receivables. Okay, so instead of 121 days, let's say it is 30 days. This is situation A and this is company B. Okay, let's say this is company A, this is company B. Okay, so just tell me that which company is better, is managing its current asset and current liability in a very efficient manner. Out of the two companies A and B, which company is efficiently managing its current asset and current liability? Because as we know, the trade payable is current liability. Okay, trade payable is current liability and this is current asset. Inventory days, inventory, this is also current asset. So out of the company A, which has a trade payable days of 70 days, inventory days of 50 days and receivable days of 121 days, and company B, which has a trade payable days of 35 days, inventory days of 25 and 35. So what does that mean? That means, and so we also have a operating cycle, which is equal to inventory days plus this is trade receivable days, okay, plus trade receivable days. In some books, some references, some balance sheet, this trade receivable days is also called collection days and trade payable days is also called trade receivable or collection days or sundry debtor days. Okay, it is the same thing. Trade payable is also called sundry creditor. So operating cycle is equal to inventory days plus trade receivable days. Means from the day when raw material is purchased and from the day when cash is collected after sale of the finished goods. So let's say both the company are producing, suppose 500 kgs of carbon fiber. Both are similar companies. Okay, both are producing 500 kgs of carbon fiber. That means for company A, what is happening? It is taking 50 plus 121 day, so equal to 171 day. It is taking to collect money. Okay, for company B, what is happening for company B? It is taking 25 plus 30 is equal to 55 days. Okay, it is just taking 55 days. So 55 into 55 into 55 is coming out to be 165. That means when company A is able to sell and collect money for 500 kgs of carbon fiber, okay, company B has already sold the carbon fiber of the same volume 3 times. Just imagine. And if we assume that the profit margin is same, assuming that profit margin is same, okay, same profit margin we assume, that means in the same period of time, for the given period of time, company B is making more profit than company A. So this is the significance of knowing how to calculate trade payable days, inventory days, trade receivable days, and based on that we are calculating the operating cycle, and we are coming to know that for a similar companies how one is profitable and one is not profitable. So just see how by managing just the inventory days and trade receivable days, how a company becomes profitable. So this is the one aspect. There are other aspects also. So this is big. So as we clearly understood that company B is making a efficient use of its current asset and current liabilities and making the profit thrice. If you are not, if I have not understood the things, then let me repeat once more that company B, as we have calculated, that company B has only 55 days of operating cycles. So operating cycles means the day when raw material is purchased and the day converted to finished goods and it is sold and cash is collected. So this is called inventory days plus receivable days. So as we see, for company A it is 50 days plus 121 days, it is coming out to be 171 days, and for company B it is 25 days plus 30 days. We have put these values in this formula. So we see 55 days. So 55 into 3 we are doing 165. That means company A is converting his raw material and selling and collecting the money in 171 days it is taken. But on the other hand, company B is able to do the same thing 3 times in that period and also saving some days also. Okay, so it is clear that company B is making more profit. If the volume of production, we are assuming that both are selling 500 kgs of carbon fiber in each operating cycle. So I hope I was able to make you understand things properly. If not, you find something not understandable, or you do not, if you like the video, then, or if you have any doubt, then you can write on the comment section. Thank you for watching.